Toby. I'm the author of the new miniatures game Ballmonsters from Precinct Omega, and a few people have been in touch to ask about the rules. The rules are currently in a beta version, which means that they're out for public download free from our website at precinctomega.co.uk. But those who are already playing them have asked me to clarify how a few things in the game are done. So rather than go back to the rules and rewrite them, I've made this video showing you some of the basics. Okay. So when you're setting up a shot in Ballmonsters, the first thing that you need is a target. So the monster ball, Sir Blinks-a-Lot here, is going to target his friend Teeth over here. First thing he has to decide is exactly how fast he is going to hurl himself across the field in order to smack into Teeth. As he wants to send Teeth quite a long way, quite strong, he's going to go with a maximum momentum of 6. Sir Blinks-a-Lot is a ball monster. That means that he also has quite a high strength. As you can see on the team roster, on which we've just got Blinks-a-Lot and Teeth for the purposes of this example, Blinks-a-Lot's strength is a good 5. Teeth's, meanwhile, is only 2. Because Blinks-a-Lot's strength is 5, that means his total power for this shot, plus his momentum of 6, is a mighty 11. Having decided exactly how fast he's going to hit Teeth, the next question he's got to answer is where he's going to hit Teeth. Every ball monster has a front side and a rear, or as we call it here, a bitey side, nearest the teeth, and a backside, because, well, they've got to have something. The bitey side, understandably, is the danger zone, but fortunately Teeth is Sir Blinks-a-Lot's ally, which means that if Sir Blinks-a-Lot hits Teeth in his bitey zone, he's not going to get bitten. You can also see from this that their target, Big Eye over there, is on a straight line from Teeth. So Sir Blinks-a-Lot really wants to try and hit Teeth in a straight line, which means he's going to choose this face here. So having decided where Sir Blinks-a-Lot is going to hit Teeth, we then have to know if he's in range. For a monster ball, this is usually yes, but it is important to check. His power is 11, so the question we need to ask at this point is whether Teeth is at equal to or less than 11 inches. Fairly clearly, he is. He's comfortably less than 5 inches away, so there's no question that Sir Blinks-a-Lot can reach his target. Now for a monster ball, actually, even if he was over 11 inches away, there's a good chance he'd still be able to hit him. The question is how much power he'd have left when he got there. So for every inch over 11 inches he was travelling, he would be losing 1 power. However, in this case, he's well under 11 inches, so he's going to hit Teeth with the full force of his 11 power. So we can move him up, we know which face he's going to hit, and he can arrive with 11 power. At this point you have to decide whether there's going to be a bite, and as I said earlier, because he's hitting the bitey side with his bitey side, and it's a friendly ball, there's not going to be a bite, so we can skip past that and move straight on to the bounce. The first thing to do in the bounce is to put down the bounce templates. 1 on each side of the bounce itself. The next thing is to allocate the power. Now Sir Blinks-a-Lot can allocate as much of his power as he likes, but he has to keep at least 2 for himself, as long as he has as much as 2. So he will keep the minimum of 2 for himself, and give the maximum 9 to his target. Having allocated the power, then he has to decide which direction he's going to send the balls in. We already know that we want Teeth to go straight on, so out of his choices of angles A, B or C, he's going to choose angle B. He's applying 9 power to angle B. That means that in response, he gets 2 power on the same angle B on his template. So they each bounce in the opposite directions. The bounce that you resolve first is always that of the active ball. That is the ball that was moving to initiate the bounce. So that's Sir Blinks-a-Lot. So Sir Blinks-a-Lot is going to bounce away 2 inches away from Teeth. Move the template 2 inches, and then move Sir Blinks-a-Lot to follow it. It is important to note at this point that if Sir Blinks-a-Lot doesn't hit another target with his bounce, he can't change the direction that he's facing in the course of that, so he always stays facing the direction he was when he had the bounce first. He's had his bounce, he's finished, can take that off the table. Now we want to resolve the other half of the bounce, which is Teeth, and we know Teeth is going to careen forward and smack into Big Eye. Once we know that Teeth is going to contact Big Eye, the exact direction of his bounce doesn't really matter. So as we know he's going along line B, and we can see immediately that line B is going to contact a target, whether that line is clipping the corner of the base, straight through the middle, or anywhere else, doesn't matter. Big Eye is now the target, and Teeth can choose any of Big Eye's visible sides as his target side, so we can take away the bounce template completely. What is important though is the range between Teeth and Big Eye. Putting our tape measure down, we can see that it's just over 3 inches. That counts as 4 inches in this game, which means that by the time Teeth reaches Big Eye, he will have lost 4 of his power, and he'll be down to 5. Where is 5 on this thing? Ah, there it is. So, he'll be down to 5 power when he arrives. Now, the side that he hits, he's got a choice between any of these 3. This one over here would count as a backside, so it wouldn't give Big Eye as good a chance of biting back. These 2 are bitey sides, which would mean that Big Eye could bite back at the same time. In this case, however, just to give both sides an equal chance, we're going to go into this side. Having got here, the first thing to resolve is the bite. Teeth, as the active ball, has some power, so he gets to decide how much of his power he is going to commit to the bite, keeping, as usual, a minimum of 2 for himself. So he's going to give up a full 3 to the bite, leaving him with 2 power. We saw earlier that Teeth has 2 strength. Big Eye also has 2 strength. So they're each going to be adding 2 to their roll. But because Teeth also gave 3 of his power to the bite, he adds another 3 to the roll. So he's adding 5 in total, whilst Big Eye is adding only 2. Big Eye's rolling the blue dice. Teeth, of course, is rolling a red dice. So that's Big Eye's roll, 6 plus 2, he gets a total of 8. Meanwhile, Teeth's roll is 8, plus a total of 3, gives him 11. He has won the bite, and he has taken a bite out of Big Eye. Biting an opponent is good for a ball monster. Means that Big Eye is losing strength. He's been bitten once, and he goes from strength 2 to strength 1. Meanwhile, Teeth has taken a chunk out of his opponent. He goes from strength 2 up to strength 3. The next time he bites someone, he's going to be that much more dangerous. Finally, of course, we resolve the bounce again. Teeth has 2 power. He's got to give at least 1 to his opponent if he's got any. So he keeps 1 for himself and 1 to Big Eye. As the active ball, he gets to decide on the angle as well. So he's going to send Big Eye on angle C. Because Big Eye's going that way, so must he. Now, because Big Eye doesn't have a target, the angle is important, and he moves exactly along the angle that's described by angle C, moving 1 inch along the angle. And so, meanwhile, does Teeth, moving 1 inch along the angle as well. And because neither of them has a target, neither of them can change their facing. And that's the end of the turn. That's not all there is to the rules, of course. There's a lot more in Ballmonsters which you can read in the rules, which you can download from our website at precinctomega.co.uk. But I hope that short introduction has given you an idea of the basics of what the game requires.